All right, everyone, welcome to the Lincoln City Council meeting on January 22nd, 2024. In accordance with LB 898, please be advised that a copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted at the back of the chamber. Let us all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Following the pledge, we will observe a short moment of silent meditation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The order of business of the Lincoln City Council is as follows. The clerk will call the items listed on the agenda. Under public hearing, anyone wishing to speak on an item must first register and sign in at the table located in the lobby. The council shall require any member of the public desiring to address the council to identify himself or herself, including an address and the name of any organization represented by such person, unless the address requirement is waived to protect the security of the individual. Anyone wishing to speak on an item on the agenda should come forward after the clerk reads that item. The applicant may then make one short rebuttal. Each speaker should begin by stating their name, address, organization, and whether you are speaking in favor of or in opposition to the item. Testimony is limited to 5 minutes per speaker. After all public hearings, the council will vote on resolutions and items listed under third reading. On the second and last Mondays of the month, immediately prior to adjournment, anyone may speak on any issue not on the agenda for that date, nor planned for a future agenda. Madam Clerk, would you please call our first item of business?
Up first, we have our Mayor's Award of Excellence.
Mayor, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairperson Beckius, members of the council. It's such a pleasure to be standing before you today to present the Mayor's Award of Excellence for November 2023. And we are presenting this award to someone in our city communications team within the mayor's office, and that is our public information specialist, Emily Haney. She was nominated by our Chief Communications Officer, Kelly Britton, in the categories of productivity and customer relations for her work to lead a successful social media campaign for hiring summer lifeguards at our public pools. Now, just to go back in time to last May for a moment, with summer right around the corner, hard to imagine right now, but we were staring down a hot summer, and our Parks and Rec team needed to hire more lifeguards to adequately staff our public pools, which of course provide, as you know, a really fun and safe and wonderful opportunity for kids to learn to swim and to be healthy during the summer months. And we had tried traditional methods of recruitment, the job postings, the press conference, outreach to schools in search of lifeguards. We had even tried a new process of recruiting, hosting in-person job hiring fairs where you could do it at a one-stop shop. We'd had success with that at StarTran. But still, we faced a gap in our need and the supply of lifeguards showing up to fill that need. So faced with the daunting prospect of not having enough folks to staff our pools for the summer, and with a very pressing deadline to get fully staffed, our city communications team and Parks and Rec folks joined forces and they innovated. And Emily's creative talents and vision were absolutely central to this effort. The next thing I knew, there were sparkly blue beach balls and inner tubes bouncing around in our conference room. There were high school students and preschoolers being recruited to be the stars of videos for our recruitment effort. And there was a drone humming in the sky above an empty Woods Park pool as we worked to film videos of kids putting on sunscreen, even though there were no water in the pool. So Emily swiftly, she coordinated, recorded, and edited the digital content for this campaign to attract summer lifeguard candidates and save the summer. And she even created this phenomenal video in the style of Wes Anderson. If you haven't seen it, you should go and watch it because it was brilliant. Emily's creative and quick work paid off. In just 20 days, the social media campaign resulted in 213 applicants for aquatics jobs. Yeah. It also reached an extensive audience of 183,684 users who generated over 6,500 clicks and more than 375,000 total impressions, although I may have been 1,000 of them watching that Wes Anderson video, so it was really worth watching. Emily's talents helped ensure that our public pools were fully staffed and open all summer long. And I just want to say right here that this was not just an impressive feat on the local level. This was impressive on a national stage because, as you may have heard last summer, public pools all across the country were dealing with this similar challenge of staffing up, and many of them did close or reduce their hours, but not Lincoln. So in her daily role, Emily also tells the story of our city team's services to our residents through her amazing photography and her management of the City of Lincoln social media accounts. Her skills help us engage our residents and create opportunities for residents to engage with us on how we can even better meet their needs. Her contributions to our communications efforts don't stop there. She has been a proven, invaluable resource for our public information officers across 7 city departments. I think you may see a number of them here today to support her. Her ability to collaborate and provide support and share her expertise has greatly enhanced the productivity and efficiency of a variety of our communications efforts. I will add personally that it's just a joy to have Emily as a colleague. Beyond her talent and her positivity, her generosity, and her ability to keep up with all the latest TikTok trends, she is fun-loving and caring, making time to serve as a mentor through Big Brothers Big Sisters, Lincoln, creating opportunities for, and undoubtedly a lot of inspiration for the young girl who is lucky to be her little sis. So I hope you will please join me in congratulating the very talented Emily Haney on her well-deserved award.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Chairman Beckius and the City Council members for being here today to help us acknowledge and celebrate Emily Haney on receiving the Mayor's Award of Excellence. Emily's influence extends beyond social media management. Colleagues describe her as working to constantly learn, engage others, and just being a delight. I know that she's a delight because Emily and I used to have our offices across from each other, so I got to get to know her, and I can attest, she is a delightful person. She also can be seen photographing all kinds of city events. In fact, she'd usually be photographing this one, but Justin is sitting in for her this time. If I had one negative thing to say about Emily, one thing that she could probably do a little bit better on is that she's a Georgia Bulldog fan. So we'll work on getting her to be a Husker fan sooner or later. But what stands out about Emily is her leadership to own a project, much like the lifeguard campaign you heard about. If you bring an idea to Emily, she immediately works her magic to create something relevant, impactful, and memorable. In addition to all her success noted up by the mayor, she's also sent the City of Lincoln Instagram account viral twice, with more than 263,000 views on just 2 videos. I'm not on any social media platform, but that sounds like a lot of videos. And I believe Councilman Shob is in one of those videos and helped make it go viral. Yeah. Okay, so Emily's inherently collaborative and supportive of others managing social media accounts for the city. Her happy-go-lucky attitude has been a positive influence on building community across city teams. Emily's commitment to finding solutions, improving processes, and ensuring accuracy also deserves recognition. The Mayor's Award of Excellence is a testament to her contributions, and we look forward to witnessing the continued impact of her work on the City of Lincoln. Congratulations, Emily. And I'm also understand the city communications team has something they'd like to give you in recognition too. Oh no. So here they go.
Very nice. Kelly, what's that ribbon say? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yes. So hopefully much to my supervisor's delight, this is not a 15-minute speech like I've been joking it is. I did write down a couple of things though, so I don't forget. Thank you, Mayor and TJ, for your kind words and for the council for making time for these awards. I'm normally standing over there, as mentioned, taking pictures, so it's an honor to be up here talking to you today and accepting this award and crown, obviously.
Obviously.
My dad worked at the city of Lawrenceville, Georgia for 30 years, so I grew up around local government. I never thought I'd follow in that path when I'd visit him at work, so that irony isn't lost on me now, where I'm standing in a local government building. Some of the hats that were in his office, they now hang in mine, and I like to think that he would get a kick out of that, still in a city hall, just 1,000 miles apart. And so what he knew is what I've been learning in my time here. It's that local government's a special place to work. I get to see every day just the positive impact that our actions have on our community, whether that's lifeguards, heat pumps, you name it. There's always something great happening. And so I like to joke too that I know a little about a lot, but it's true. I'm surrounded by so many just passionate and driven individuals here who are willing to collaborate and share their expertise. Even looking at my fellow public information officers, I'm always learning from them too. And so it just makes my work possible, including the successful lifeguard campaign. And it's like the mayor mentioned, it's not every day that you have goggles and pool floats in the office. Just such a fun day, but it was definitely well worth the odd looks I got as I crossed 9th Street in business casual attire, pushing a cart full of pool supplies to my car. But thankfully, throughout this process, I didn't have to swim alone. There's a whole team behind, these efforts as well. So I would just like to thank my supervisor, Kelly. Where is she? Hi, Kelly. For supporting me throughout the whole process. This wouldn't have got off the ground without her help as well. And just for thinking of me to nominate me for this award. To Maggie. Hi, Maggie. Our Parks and Rec director, for bringing the fun and the expertise on how to wear a rescue tube. We had it wrong. She knew what was up. And to all the Parks and Recreation staff who also supported their recruitment efforts. To my coworkers who brought their kids to be models, as well as to the Bay who I call them kids, but they're kids to me, they're adults, who came and also helped us model. Like, we wouldn't have been able to brought this to life without their contribution and support as well. And then last but not least, to the mayor for this award, but also for just understanding and supporting the importance that public pools have in our community and in summer fun. Without this collective support, just creating this like trendy content and just going viral and everything that's come along with this campaign, it wouldn't have been possible. And I have to plug it. I know it's cold outside, so you're gonna think, man, this doesn't make sense. But speaking of lifeguards, don't forget to apply or encourage someone to apply for a summer of fun as a Lincoln lifeguard. So thank you.
Do you have any family members you'd like to acknowledge today?
Oh yeah, this might be a first. A lot of my family is live streaming as they're in Georgia.
Nice.
So I'd like to say hi to my best, which camera are we on? This one? All right, hi to my best friend Rebecca, my mom, my sisters Abby and Macy, my nephew Dawson, and my Aunt Jane.
Perfect.
Family, another round of applause. Thank you.
Emily, thank you so much for everything you do and for helping tell the story of the city of Lincoln, not only when it comes to lifeguards and Parks and Rec, but the whole host of things that you do for our city to help share the good news of the work being done by all of the employees of the city. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We'll give folks just a moment to exit.
But you're welcome to stay.
And yet they go.
Got a lot of laughs.
All right, Brandy, whenever you are ready.
Okay, up next we have our consent agenda, which are items 1 and 2.
Is there anyone here to speak on any consent agenda items? Items 1 or 2? Anyone here to speak on consent agenda items? Hello.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Riley, welcome.
Hey, neighbor.
Hello, council members. My name is Riley Slezak, advisor to the mayor, 555 South 10th Street. I'm here today on behalf of Randy Jones, Director of Aging Partners, could not make it. I'm here to introduce Katie Umberger. She's our nominee for the Aging Partners Advisory Council. Katie is with the Food Bank of Lincoln. She serves as a program manager and is focused on their senior-focused programs, has a history of collaboration with our Aging Partners department, and we think will bring a lot of great experience and skills that will help us as we tackle various food-related issues with our senior population. And with that, Katie?
Hi, yes. As he said, my name is Katie Umberger. I'm the Youth and Senior Programs Manager at the Food Bank of Lincoln. Thank you for having me today. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of the food bank team for the last 8 years, and it's been an honor to work directly with the programs that focus on our senior population. I'm really proud of the work that we've done, but we know we can do better. And I think that one of the ways that we can improve the services we provide is to sit on collaboratives such as the Aging Partners Council and just see what other people in the community are doing and how we can better connect with the senior population and make sure that they all have the food resources that they need.
Very good. Thank you, Katie, so much for your time, giving your time to this organization affiliated with the city, but also the work that you do at the Food Bank of Lincoln. We surely appreciate it. Counselors, do we have any questions for Katie? No, I think just a big thank you, as Councilman Shob said. Katie, thank you so much. We
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here to speak on any other item on sections 1 or 2 of our consent agenda? Mr. Christie.
Yes, Johannes Christie, 555 South 10th Street. Item 1A, we were asking to continue that for 1 week. She's unable to make it. She's ill, so.
Okay,
Yep.
very good. Thank you, Mr. Christie. Anyone else here to speak on consent agenda items 1 or 2? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and we'll vote on these items. I would entertain a continuance of 1A.
Mr. Chair, I'll take the opportunity to do that.
Yes, Councilman
I'd like to
Shob.
move that we delay voting on item 1A until our next meeting next week.
Is there a second?
Second?
Second, Washington, please call the roll on that.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1B is appointing Katie Umberger to the Aging Partners Area-Wide Advisory Council for a term to expire June 30th, 2026, introduced by Bowers.
So moved?
Second?
Second, Carlson, discussion. Seeing none, please call the roll.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1C is reappointing Carl Eskridge, Andy Hunziker, and Lucas Sabalka to the Lincoln Electric System Administrative Board for terms to expire December 31st, 2026, introduced by Carlson.
So moved?
Second.
Second, Weber, discussion. Seeing none, please call the roll.
Carlson,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1D is reappointing Carrie Herrera and Brittany Hodges Balkovac to the Citizen Police Advisory Board for terms to expire November 17th, 2027, introduced by Carlson.
So moved?
I'll second that.
Second, Duden, discussion. Seeing none, please call the roll.
Shob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1E is reappointing Becca Brune, Lindy Christensen, Jessica Hesse, Brittany Hodges Balkovec, and Jennifer Jorgis to the Commission on Women and Gender for terms to expire November 23rd, 2026, introduced by Carlson.
So moved?
Second?
Second, Washington, discussion. Seeing none, please call the roll.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1F is approving a professional services agreement, supplement number 1, for preliminary engineering services between the City of Lincoln and Alfred Benish and Company for A Street 6th to 17th Street project, introduced by Carlson.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Weber, discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1G is approving a professional services agreement, supplement number 1, for environmental services between the City of Lincoln and Felsberg, Holt, and Ullevig for A Street 6th to 17th Street project, introduced by Carlson.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Weber, discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1H is the investment activity report for quarter ending November 30th, 2023, introduced by Duden.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Weber, discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Items 2A through 2G are all setting the hearing dates for liquor license applications, introduced by Schob.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Carlson, please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. That ends our consent agenda. We'll move on to Section 4, Public Hearing Resolutions. Item 4A is accepting and approving the report of new and pending claims against the city for December 15th through December 31st, 2023.
Hello,
Hello, how you doing?
how are you? If you could just please start with your name and address, sir.
Okay, my name is George Taylor. My address is 2331 North 70th Street, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68507.
Very good. Welcome, sir. Please tell us a little bit about why you're here today.
I'm here today for two claims,
Okay.
to go over two claims that I have against the city.
Okay. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those claims and?
Yes, am I able to read it to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My first one is stemming back from an incident in 2019. And this one starts off as, I request money damages for the physical and emotional injuries I have suffered as a result of the defendant's actions. The defendant, City of Lincoln, being a political subdivision, is responsible for the actions of its employees, including the officers of the Lincoln Police Department. The officers acted under the color of law and without justification, intentionally and maliciously causing harm to me, showing deliberate indifferences to my well-being. Furthermore, the defendant's failure to respond to my tort claim filed on December 19th of 2019 demonstrates a disregard for their duty to address and recidify the harm caused by their employees. This lack of response further accelerates the violation of my civil rights as it denies me the opportunity for redress and justice. On October 18, 2019, I was standing on Main Street when I was pushed by an Officer Orth for no reason. I was minding my business and not causing any disruptions. I was told that I could stay where I was by an officer. I was pushed by Officer Orth, and I asked to speak with his sergeant. I was never given the opportunity to speak with a supervisor or on-duty sergeant. I was never given verbal commands to leave by any officer. I was viciously slammed to the ground by multiple officers. When I went to my knee, I was hit multiple times by the officers and slammed to the ground multiple times, which included a knee to my head and kicks to my body. I assert that the defendant's actions constitute a negligent case under the Nebraska state law, as well as civil rights violations under the Civil Rights Act of 1871. the excessive use of force, wrongful arrest, and failure to protect me from harm clearly is clear violations of my constitutional rights, including the right to be free from such abuse. I seek redress for the violations of my civil rights, including compensation for the physical injuries I sustained, such as the concussion, bumps, and bruises. Additionally, I request compensation for the emotional distress caused by the incident, which has accelerated my anxiety, depression, and worsened my PTSD. Moreover, the officers caused physical damages to me that included but not limited to knocking staples out of my head and hitting and kicking me with such force, causing injury to my arm with rods in it. In conclusion, I demand that the defendant, City of Lincoln, be held accountable for the actions of its employees and that I be awarded appropriate monetary damages to compensate for the harm I have endured. So that's my first claim. Then my second claim stems from an incident that happened in 2023. And this one states, or should I say my name again or just read
Nope,
the claim?
go ahead.
Okay. I am writing to bring to your attention of an incident that occurred on September 18th, 2023, involving Officer Wagner, badge number 1307, at the location 2301 A Street, Lincoln, Nebraska, apartment 15. Officer Wagner made a false statement about me being a drug dealer, which is entirely untrue. This false statement was then used by Kranisha Patel to obtain a harassment order, case number CI 233190. I have attached the relevant documentation, including the statement made by Officer Wagner, which clearly demonstrates the false nature of the accusation. Upon discovering this, I immediately contacted the Internal Affairs Department and spoke to Sergeant Yoakum, who assured me that an investigation would be initiated. I was later informed that Officer Wagner's actions were captured on body camera footage, and he would face disciplinary measures with a record of this incident being placed in his file. However, I believe that the responsibility for the incident extends beyond Officer Wagner as an employee of the city and being on duty at the time. The city should also be held accountable for his actions. The false harassment order has caused significant harm to my reputation, and even though it has been dismissed in court, here it says today, but it was October 5th of 2023 at 8:42 a.m. in courtroom 37. It will still appear on my record. Additionally, the false statements made against me by Officer Wagner will continue to have a negative impact. Therefore, I am requesting a thorough investigation into this matter and appropriate action be taken against Officer Wagner and any other individuals involved in this incident. I also urge you to take the necessary steps to recidify the damage caused to me, to my reputation, and ensure that this false information is removed from my record. I trust that you will handle this matter with the seriousness it deserves and take the appropriate measures to address the misconduct and its consequences. I look forward to your prompt response and resolution of this issue. I am requesting damages in the excess of $10,000. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Mr. Taylor, thank you for coming forward today. I appreciate it. Let me see if any of my peers have questions for you first, okay? Any questions for Mr. Taylor?
I do have one.
Yes, Councilwoman, please.
Mr. Taylor, thank you. You mentioned in your first claim against the city that you had filed a tort claim case.
Yes, so what happened in that case, originally my originating attorney, who I was working with at first, would have been Senator Ernie Chambers. So on my documentation that I have here today has him as the BLF over the original case. The attorney who Senator Ernie Chambers put me in touch with was Berry Law Firm. Guy by the name of William Harris was my attorney. He told me that he filed for me December 19th of 19.
Okay. All right. I looked back on our claims records, and I did not see a tort case filed. So I was just wondering, I want to just check up on that.
And so now I did speak with William Harris about that, and he said that he is willing to file an affidavit that one was sent to the city.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Taylor? Yes, Councilman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, and following up on Councilman Washington's question, do you have a letter or something from us saying that we received your claim and have adjudicated? Is there any resolution? Did you get a final disposition from us?
So I received a letter after I put in this new claim in 2023 from the city attorney's office, January 2nd of 24, stating that on that old claim that nothing had ever been filed on my behalf. So that's the only letter that I had got, and that they were going to be asking for denial from the city attorney's office. But I've been told that it was put in. And like, I even took every step that I needed to around that time when this incident occurred to me. As far as coming to the mayor's office, the mayor was aware. The ombudsman, Lynn, I still have her card that she gave me then. She told me other places to go. She sent me to the ombudsman's office to go file a complaint and in other different places. So everybody was aware of this incident. So if anything did go wrong, I shouldn't be held accountable for that when I took all the necessary steps that I needed to. So if there is found that there was a wrongdoing, I'm still being done wrong, whether it's by my attorney or by the city saying that they didn't receive it. And I'm being told that they did. And I have a copy of the form from the attorney that he is saying was put in at that time. But I also know that around that same time that the city would have had to respond back to that would have been 2 weeks after the incident with George Floyd, May 29th to June 2nd, when the riots took place here in Lincoln. They would have had their 6 months would have ran out June 19th. So they would have had to come back with whether they were going to accept that claim or not accept that claim around that time when all that stuff was going on. The Lincoln police have already admitted to different incidents occurring back then that it was time for a change to take place. And my case would have fell in right around that same time that they were already admitting that they needed to have some changes with their officers.
Other questions for Mr. Taylor? You good, Councilman? Okay. Okay. Mr. Taylor, what will happen at this point in time? My colleagues may decide to call up city staff to ask them questions, at which point then, if they choose to do that, we'll go through a question and answer session with city employees. And then my peers will either choose to remove your name from the list of denied claims and vote on that item separately, or proceed just to leave you on the denied claims list and vote on the entire package that way. So we'll go through those steps as we get there, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview as to how this will proceed.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Taylor. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Council members, do we have questions for staff?
Yeah.
Councilman.
Yeah, I have a question for city law.
Yohansi Christie, City Attorney, 555 South 10th.
Thank you, Mr. Christie. Can you just briefly explain your department's rationale for denying both of Mr. Taylor's claims that are in front of us today?
Yes, so the claim that he referenced from 2019, our office did not receive a claim from 2019. And so I think that there were some conversations regarding the more recent claim. It's my understanding that Mr. Taylor relayed to one of the assistant city attorneys that there was a claim from 2019. Then at that time, we informed him that there wasn't a claim from 2019, and then I think he indicated that he wanted to file a claim, and then we have a denial letter that indicates that we're denying the claim from 2019. You have to file within a year from the incident, according to the Political Subdivision Tort Claims Act. And I think it's important to understand the way that the claim systems, the way that the statutes are set up, and I understand that Mr. Taylor might not understand this. I think the lawyers that he referenced, you know, I would encourage him to reach out to them, and they might be able to explain it as well. But if a claim is not acted on within 6 months, then a claimant has the opportunity to withdraw the claim and file a lawsuit. So maybe another way of saying that is inaction for 6 months. What that does is triggers or allows, that 6 months is the trigger that allows someone to then file a lawsuit. So whether, again, we have no record of a claim being filed, but if a claim is filed and it's not acted on in 6 months, that sometimes that happens, and then someone would need to withdraw the claim and file a lawsuit if they have not received a response from the political subdivision within 6 months. So procedurally, that's how that would go. With 2023, I think it's in the letter, we cited the statute that his claim is libel, slander, or misrepresentation. The city is exempt from liability under the Political Tort Claims Act for that type of behavior, for those allegations of that type of behavior. And so that was the basis that I think he received that letter. It's dated this month. That again cites the statute and the reasoning, and that was the basis for denying that. I would say both of the claims that he has submitted, he is free to file a lawsuit in the court, especially if I heard him mention civil rights, but he could, you know, go that avenue in the courts and allege a civil rights violation. There may be other options as well.
Thank you. That's really helpful. And I think you're getting to my next question is, if we accept this report today that denies both of Mr. Taylor's claims, what would his options be then following those denials?
He could file a claim in the courts, a lawsuit.
Yeah. So our decision today
system
would not be necessarily final. It would just take it to the legal process.
You can still go to through the courts, correct?
Thank you. That's all the questions I had.
Any other questions for city staff? Yes, Councilwoman Washington, please.
Thank you, Mr. Christie. I have a question regarding the most recent claim. You said that the city can't be slandered, so we can't. I mean, people can assert that their reputation has been harmed by a city employee, but the city cannot be held responsible for that. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe another way of, it's not a tort claim. We are here under the Tort Claims Act.
Okay.
Maybe that's a better way of saying it. And so under the Political Subdivision Tort Claims Act, city is, those type of allegations do not fall under the Tort Claims Act.
Where do they fall?
Well, again, someone could always file an action in the courts.
Okay.
And depending on what they're, I mean, there's different ways to try to do those sorts of things, but you would go through the court system.
Okay. He had also asked, we've never been asked this before, at least in my recollection, to have his record cleared of what he said were false allegations. And I was wondering, is there any other board or commission advisory board that hears these kinds of things, or is this also something that goes directly to the court?
Well, so I mean, it depends. There's, when we talk about clearing a record, there's different ways to do that. There's a set aside, which is something that you can ask a court to do. There's also, if it's criminal, you can ask a pardon. If it's a criminal case, if it's state statute criminal case, you can ask the governor for a pardon. If it's a city case, you can ask the mayor for a pardon. We're talking about criminal cases. Our state legislature recently, actually, and within maybe 5 years or so, have recently passed state statute that when a case is dismissed, generally speaking, if a case is dismissed and someone's not convicted, then that record is actually automatically sealed. So the public employers are not able to access cases that have actually been dismissed. And that's pursuant to state statute.
Can I ask a question?
No. No.
You may talk.
I can talk to you
You-
after this. So it kind of depends on where we're at and what someone is trying to do when they say records sealed. But those are generally the options.
Thank you very much.
Other questions for Mr. Christie? Okay, seeing none. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak on any other items relating to the city's list of claims? My apologies. That's item 4A. I was losing my place there. Anyone here to speak on anything else on 4A? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and move forward.
Item 4B is Comprehensive Plan Conformance 23019, application of the Urban Development Department to review as to conformance within the 2050 Lincoln-Lancaster County Comprehensive Plan and to adopt the Northwest 48th and West Vine redevelopment plan, including the Falcon Corner redevelopment project for the construction of a large retail building and associated commercial uses on property generally located at Northwest 48th Street and Interstate 80.
Brandy, would you please note that I've declared a conflict of interest on this item and will be leaving? Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? Not seeing anyone come forward, there has been a request that this item be delayed for vote for 1 week.
Chair Washington, I'll make that motion.
Thank you very much. Second, please. Second. Thank you very much. Carlson, second. Brandy, I believe that we're ready for the motion.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes,
Weber.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
thank
I
you.
can go good.
Please.
Vote on anything?
We took the motion
To delay.
to delay.
Okay. So do we need to move back to 4A? Vote
We
on
do.
4A?
So I'll call the vote on item 4A, that was accepting and improving the report of new impending claims against the city for December 15th through December 31st, 2023, introduced by Carlson.
Second.
Second, Schob. Discussion? Councilman Weber, please.
Thank you, Chair Beckius, and thank you, Mr. Taylor, for coming down today. I'm going to be voting to accept the report that denies both of your claims. I don't feel like the City Council is an appropriate fact finder for the claims that you've brought here, and I would suggest that this should be adjudicated in a court of law, and so that's why I'm going to accept the report in front of me today.
Other comments? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and vote on 4A.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes,
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Mr. Taylor, no one removed your item from the agenda, so it was denied. If you would like to have follow-up conversation with city law, you are free to do so. Thank you.
Will I receive a now in the mail?
This may or may not, I'm not sure about that. I'll let Mr. Christie speak to you individually while we move on with the meeting. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming down. Brandy, please move us on.
All right, next up, we have Section 5, our public hearing on ordinances, second reading and related resolutions. Item 5A is amending Lincoln Municipal Code Section 4.24.090, budget expenditures for the purpose of moving LES to a project-based capital budget authorization rather than an annual authorization.
Emily, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Emily Koenig, Vice President and CFO for Lincoln Electric System. I'm here to speak in support of this amendment. As you're probably aware, currently the provisions for LES's budgeting process allow for an annual authorization for both our operating and capital budget. Over time, this has been a challenge on the capital side, where most of our projects are multi-year projects. And so as projects get delayed or accelerated, that can cause struggles for us with an annual authorization. And so even in more recent times, it's been even increasingly difficult with supply chain issues, payment terms with vendors changing, increased cost, those sorts of things. So that's prompted us to bring forward this amendment that only impacts the capital budget. So the operating budget would remain at an annual authorization, and the capital budget, the provisions that are afforded for and the language change really are, we would bring forward any projects that are going to be spent on in the next 2 years, and then also any budget monies would be ongoing authorization, and that aligns almost precisely with what the city does for their capital budget. And so we worked closely with the city attorney's office and the mayor's office to craft this language, and really appreciate their help understanding what our issues were and trying to come up with what we think is a viable solution. But if this is adopted, then it will be effective with our 2025 budget, which will come before you in November. So I'd be happy to take any questions on that proposed change.
Any questions, Counselor?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emily. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak on item 5A? Anyone else here for 5A? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and move to 5B and 5C.
Item 5B is annexation 23010, application of HH Development Incorporated to annex 11.35 acres on property generally located at North 51st Street and Alvo Road. Related item 5C, change of zone 23070, application of HH Development Incorporated to change the zoning designation from AG Agricultural District to R3 Residential District on property generally located at North 51st Street and Alvo Road.
Mike, welcome.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Mike Eckert with Soul Design Group, 8535 Executive Woods Drive, Suite 200. This is the next proposed phase of development on this project between Alvo and Arbor Road. Standard R3 zone, single-family residential lots for Heartland Homes. And so it's in conformance with the preliminary plat, and I think everything's in order with the planning department. So we just have this change of zone and annexation for you today. Be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions for Mike? Okay, very good. Thank you much. Appreciate it. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak on items 5B or 5C? Anyone else here for items 5B or 5C? All right, seeing none, let's move on to 5D and 5E.
Item 5D is annexation 23012, application of Starosco Lewis LLC to annex 7.02 acres generally located at Northwest 18th Street and Beartooth Drive. Related item 5E, change of zone 23071, application of Starosco Lewis LLC to change the zoning designation from AG Agricultural District to R3 Residential District on property generally located at Northwest 18th and Beartooth Drive.
Mike Eckert again, Civil Design Group, 8535 Executive Woods Drive, Suite 200, Lincoln, Nebraska. This again is the same as the previous item, different developer, the Starosco Lewis Group. A little further out to our northwest most area of development, we're getting close to Northwest 19th and Alvo Road. So this would allow the next phase of this project, combination of townhomes and so single-family attached and single-family detached in the R3 zoning per the preliminary plat on this area.
Very good. Any questions for Mike? Mike, it's an easy day.
Yep, thank you, appreciate it.
Very much. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak on items 5D or 5E? Anyone else here for items 5D or 5E? All right, seeing none. Madam Clerk, please move us on.
Item 5F is change of zone 23072, application of NeighborWorks Lincoln to change the zoning designation from O2 Suburban Office District to R2 Residential District on property generally located at 102 and 110 South 38th Street.
Is there anyone here to speak on item 5F? Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. Charles Wesch, NeighborWorks Lincoln, 2530 Q Street. I'm here in support of this change of zone that came about. NeighborWorks purchased 3 properties on 38th Street, approximately 38th and O. The southernmost lot, 120 South 38th, was zoned as R2. We built a home there and sold that to a first-time home buyer. We also, at the same time as buying that empty lot, we purchased 2 existing homes, 102 and 110 South 38th, that were in an O2 zoning district. And we came to find out that because of that zoning district, those loans, a mortgage loan wouldn't be able to be sold on the secondary market, which we see as an issue for our home buyers that are there. So we're just requesting a change of zone from O2 to R2. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Charles. Any questions? All right, seeing none. Thanks so much for coming down. We appreciate it. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak on item 5F? All right, seeing none, let's move on to 5G.
Item 5G is change of zone 23074, application of MBG Property LLC to change the zoning designation from R4 Residential District to B3 Commercial District on property generally located at 880 North 27th Street.
Is there anyone here to speak on item 5G? Hello, welcome.
Thanks for your time. My name is Mike Staub. We're the applicant, and basically we're under contract to basically redevelop that property, and we're just requesting a rezoning from
Looks like we have zoning split right in the middle.
Yeah, so we can kind of, the city in our meetings with them just requested to kind of clean it up. So basically, we're just kind of following their guidance on that. So we're basically going to spend a bunch of money to repurpose that building. It's a current old Jiffy Lube. We're going to get it back into retail and get it going. So we would appreciate your support. So
sounds good.
Thank
Mike,
you.
we appreciate it. Could you also give us your address for the record?
So Mike Staub, S-T-A-A-B, and my address is 1001 South 112th here in Lincoln, 68520.
Thank you. Any questions for Mike?
I had just one
Yes,
question.
Councilwoman, please.
In the map that we were given that has a fat green line and a red triangle, a red rectangle with diagonal lines.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this?
Well, I got a few calls from, I think it's misleading because basically when they sent out the notification to the adjacent neighbors, it's only, my understanding is it's only subject to the property at 880 North 27th. It's misleading because it looks like it's rezoning like where the gas station is at and actually south.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding in our discussions with the city is basically it's only applicable for that lot, not, I think there were some property owners that had rental property that were concerned that it was applying to their property, but it's.
So it's really just the east side of the lot where you
That
have
is,
parking spaces?
yeah, where it's the old Jiffy Lube lot, so yes, that's our understanding, so.
Okay. I think I can ask a clarifying question in the next couple of days of the planning department then. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Any other questions for Mike? All right, seeing none.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks for coming down. We appreciate it. Is there anyone else here who'd like to speak on item 5G? Anyone else here for item 5G? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and move on.
Next up, we have our ordinances, third reading and related resolutions with continued public hearing. I will read items 6A through 6D together. 6A is Comprehensive Plan Amendment 23005, application of FFF LLC to amend the Lincoln Lancaster County 2050 Comprehensive Plan to revise the future land use map by changing the designation from industrial use to commercial use on property generally located at the northeast corner of Northwest 48th Street and Interstate 80. 6B is annexation 23005, application of FFF LLC to annex approximately 52 acres, more or less, on the same property. 6C, approving the conditional annexation and change of zone agreement between the city, FFF LLC, and Helen Bell Kitzel Farms LLC on the same property. 6D, change of zone 23019, application of FFF LLC to change the zoning designation of 15 acres, more or less, from AG Agricultural District to H4 Highway Commercial District on property generally located at the northeast corner of Northwest 48th Street and Interstate 80.
All right, thank you, Brandy. The last time we met on January 8th, we took these 4 items and said we would continue the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to testify on these items? Not seeing anyone coming forward, though I'll ask one more time. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on these items? Okay. Not seeing anyone come forward, we've also been asked if we would issue a motion to delay the vote for 1 more week.
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to delay items 6A, 6B, 6C, and 6D, action only, to 1 week.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Carlson, second. All right. Then I believe that we can vote on the delay.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Duden.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
And please note that Chair Becky has recused himself.
Madam Clerk, would you please move us on?
That ends our public hearing portion. We can now move on to Section 7, ordinances, third reading, and related resolutions. Item 7A is approving the lease agreement between the City of Lincoln and the Lamar Company, LLC, for the lease of billboard space located near 25th and Randolph Streets, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Weber, discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Carlson,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. That ends our ordinances third reading. The resolutions first reading are items 8A through 8E. Ordinances first reading, items 9A through 9J. And we do have one still on pending list, items 10A.
All right, very good. That moves us into public comment. Anyone wishing to address the council on a matter not on this agenda and not plan to appear on a future agenda may do so now. Individuals are allowed a total of 5 minutes to speak regardless of the number of topics. For the month of January, open microphone sessions will be held today and also January 29th. Is there anyone here who would like to address the council? Please come forward. Welcome back.
Good afternoon. My name is Maymun Qureshi, and I live at 8040 Abigail Drive. I know I've said this issue multiple times, but today I'm to talk about something similar to that, and I feel it's a bigger issue, especially with the recent approval of a lot of projects across Lincoln. So I know you're proposing the change in parking requirements, and I'd like to say something about that. It's a good step, but there's this nonprofit called Strong Towns, nationwide organization, and I've looked at them. One thing I would like to say is they recently released a video about how you can make impact in a community, and it made me think, like, I looked through Lincoln, I couldn't see many nonprofits similar to such that indirectly have a responsibility like that, and I wanted to speak on that. I've emailed multiple people about this issue over time, the councilman for my area, the comprehensive director, LTU, all of these departments. And I like to say it feels like it's a hassle when you have to contact so many different departments when there's a similar objective with all of these plans, like comprehensive plans, changing parking requirements. I think that there should be the thought and consideration of actually opening the conversation to be together all in one, incorporating people who are part of the private sector, citizens, communities. You can involve the school district, the city council, mayor's office. And this is being done in other cities as well. I know in Miami-Dade and the Miami-Dade County area. I looked at it. The school board, they're trying to have new fully protected bike lanes across each school. And that shows you that you can start the conversation and involve everybody and be able to make these significant changes, because these changes, they can't just be out of the blue. You're gonna have to talk to a community about it, and having this hefty concept of constantly having to go out and then talk to each department instead of having a collaborative section with one another, if you are able to get that concept started and actually involve people, one another, it's going to help bridge the gap of Lincoln's poor planning from its history and open up a new chapter. People are going to move to Lincoln, and there's a lot of young people who want to stay in Lincoln as well. I want to stay in Lincoln, but if this is going to be how hard it is to fix issues that are so fixable and so simple, but because of such a poor system that's intact, it's going to make me want to consider some other city. And that's the issue. These community issues can't be fixed because the conversation isn't opened up yet. So my main point is there needs to be more involvement with everybody, not just one department like the city council or urban planning. It should all be collaborative. You could host events with all of these people together and everybody could speak their opinion at them. And when you do combine those forces and you create something like Strong Towns, then you're able to build a good community. And I think that's what really needs to be done, because you have a city that has a university right next door. Everybody wants to provide their mindset on such. If you know the old Lincoln City Hall, old one, near downtown, the UNL architecture department students and the teachers there, they did their own project of what they could repurpose that for. Imagine if you involved everybody from each corner and you could provide comments on stuff like this, and you're able to have that organization be able to collaborate each mindset and say, hey, this is what this side wants, this is how they want to incorporate their opinion, and then this side, and you combine them together in a much easier yet effective way possible. Thank you.
Thank you for coming down. We always appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here who would like to speak during open microphone session? Anyone else here to speak during public comment? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
I would move adjournment.
Second.
Second, Weber, please call the roll.
Duden,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes,
Motion carried 7-0.
we are adjourned.